because I found this one, but there's been I have 4 or 5 of them now.
Edgar Allan Poe is awesome, and you know what? It's Friday, you bastards! Yeah!
The internet brings comic fans around the world into one comic book community. Comic creators and comic fans, tonight you are seen, heard, recognized. Because comics are for everyone. Live from Miami, Florida, broadcasting around the world, this is the Not Near Mint Show.
Welcome to the Not Near Mint Show, everybody. It's Friday. It's the end of the week. It's been a long freaking month, and we're going to try not to curse for the first 6 minutes because we don't want to get kicked off the platform, which I've been hearing has been happening. So welcome, everybody. Hi, lady. Hi, Michael of the North.
Hi, Rob. The one who usually ruins it with the bad words.
It's okay. I was watching a stream earlier where, and I'm so glad for this. There is a new feature on YouTube for anybody that's over 5,000 subscribers, which we're still trying to work on that first 1,000. But there's a leaderboard which encourages people to flood the chats with comments just so they can be arbitrary number one.
It's so stupid. No, don't.
You're not right.
I can't.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Look at this. Another stupid.
Tacoma.
Oh, look who took time off from his prom.
I know.
Not my prom. It's my daughter's prom.
It was
you didn't make that clear. I thought you were graduating from high school.
My prom was 2 or 3 years ago. Come on.
Okay. I'm sure you were belle of the ball.
He's a cool college sophomore now.
The letterman.
I'm thankful y'all are here. I know that Miracleman is off in New York trying to close a deal right now, and hopefully he will have positive news on that end that he can discuss with us at a later date. Otherwise, you want to get into the top 10? Yeah, you all know what I'm talking about.
Closing a deal?
Closing the deal.
You know, now I do. I went through most of that believing everything you were saying until I realized what you were saying. That I believed in this. You need to draw me.
This is why I told him, don't tell her about the channel.
Huh?
You never tell anybody you date at the very beginning, hey, by the way, I'm on YouTube. Because then they're going to comb over that and go, oh, I just watched something random.
I tell some people. Some people know, other people don't. I figure not many people give a shit.
Yeah, it's comic books. I mean, you have a couple people going, but what if I say something untoward on the internet? We're talking about comic books on the internet. We're not Mr. Beast.
No. We're talking about TNA.
Yeah.
DNA.
And speaking of that TNA and DNA.
New Teen Titans. Dyslexical.
Oh. Well, there's going to be a new issue 1 of that coming soon, along with Batman and Superman, which means it's great jumping off points. They usually call that jumping on points. But when you have this many comics and you're doing it this long, you're just looking to jump off because do you really need a 9th or 10th volume of Kitty?
To destroy everything. He's destroying everything.
Rob,
I have he's got a flu's tail. I love it.
Whether you will actually stop collecting certain books just because they relaunch.
Give it up. Give up Spawn.
Oh, I am giving up Spawn because hybrid is out. Because
that's a lie.
No, I'm going to be having to put some of this stuff up on eBay for good reason. I am now at 28,201 comic books in this collection, which is now. That sounded like a cat.
Okay, minus 300 of them.
Say untenable. Say it's untenable.
Godzilla.
It is untenable.
The are fleeing.
It's such a great phrase, man.
All right, here we go. This is the top 10 comics for this week. It's the 5th week of May.
Oh, we live?
Yes, we're live.
I thought we were chatting backstage. I didn't realize how late it was.
Pretty much are.
Don't worry about it, man. I mean, we got 4 people watching, so I thank you for all the 4 people that are watching, which might also include us. It's probably us.
Logged in.
So we're going to go through this really, really fast. So the top 10 is based off of one sale, based off of the previous week on eBay, Heritage, whatnot, whatever have you. It just has to be verified for one sale, confirmed that somebody paid some ungodly amount or paid way too little, and wow, they got a deal. So now it's my 28,201 comics, which I really need to downsize if I want to get better books. So here we go. Here's the bottom 5 that have crashed this week. And we're going to start off with Marvel Tales, number 1, volume 2. Reprints the first appearance of Spider-Man, Hulk, Ant-Man, Wasp, Thor, Sergeant Fury, and Iron Man. This thing came out in 1964. Yeah, I like this.
It's older than my parents.
Oh, isn't that great when you go, okay, how old am I? Well, not old enough where I have a book that's older than my parents. Well, that makes us feel kind of young.
You know what I saw at the LCS today? I saw a Spider-Ham 1.
Oh. From the 70s or from like
the Star
last
series?
Year? Ooh.
From the Star series.
Yeah. Peter Porker.
Peter Porker Spider-Man. Sorry.
What was his boss? What did they do with J. Jonah Jameson? There must have been a good pun there.
I don't know.
Blue J. Jonah Jameson? I don't know.
I got nothing.
If they didn't use that, what are we even doing? Yeah, this came out in 1964, 5.0, very good fine condition, which is pretty decent for these. They're usually knocked all to hell. $101. It is down twice the amount of its worth, down $211. So if you're looking for this, now is probably an easier time. But funny thing, and I'm just going to have to get this out of the way, a lot of this top 10 that I do, I'm trying not to repeat when you have one of these books that's constantly on the list where it drops and then it comes right back up and is ping-ponging around, because that gets really annoying. So I try and cycle through. If it hasn't been on after 2 weeks, then I'll finally include it again, because a couple of these are back on here again. But yeah, this one, just a reprint, but hard to find, and it's down. So if you're looking to finish out your Marvel Tales, pretty easy now. Number 3, this is one of those things I was talking about. It's up, it's down, it's up, it's down, it's down again. This came out in 1961. It's the first appearance of the Fantastic Four uniforms, the first Baxter Building, Fantastic Car, and Miracleman, who's closing a deal possibly right now. And yeah, this came out in 1961 in a very good plus. $372. It is down $192. I paid upwards of $1,000 for this, so it hurts hearing this, but for those that are looking for it, let my pain be your gain.
That's Miracleman's opening line.
I thought it was for FFS, for frick's sake. Hey, we're almost 8 minutes, so for fuck's sake.
No,
we're ready to go, lady.
Woo!
Take off the Band-Aid.
Come bucket.
So number 8, this is Justice League of America number 21, first Crisis on Earth. This is before they began all the Crisis stuff, although there is that Flash 123 that I still got to get. And this thing dropped this week. It is from 1963 and at a fine minus 5.5 raw. Somebody paid $20. $20. It is down $125. If you're looking for these old Justice Leagues, yeah, you might be able to get them for less right now. Let other people doing the spec work go and throw their money away at that, where it'll drop much more substantially than trying to buy at the dip. Next up, and this is one that should be spec, but it's down this week because, again, Mr. Ketamine has now resigned for the government, so he has been slashing government workers left and right, and a lot of those people, they do collect comics. So you're seeing grails, ghosts, and rare books and expensive books coming to market because you cannot eat a comic book. But it's also dragging prices down. So how bad did it drag down the first appearance of Nihilus and the first cameo appearance of Franklin Richards, where he's not quite named yet? That happens in Fantastic Four 94, which Lady got for a nice deal a while back. So 1968 and a fine minus $102. It is dropped.
I never owned that. I never owned that one.
Not this, but you had the Fantastic Four 94.
Yes, I have.
That's the one where they name him Franklin.
Agatha Harkness.
Yep. Yeah. The babysitter, the nanny. I think I shall name him Franklin, and he will be a god among men. All right, so that's number 7. Number 6 is World of Wood. And where is Miracleman for a nice smutty joke right now? Because I don't think before this issue there was a tentacle prawn over in hentai over in Japan, but here we are. And if it's Dave Stevens that might have started it with the tentacles, not testicles, but tentacles, well, this is a nice little beginning. So this came out in 1986, near mint 9.0, $50. It is down 39. That Dave Stevens documentary that came out years ago. Well, it's been some time. People have gotten the Dave Stevens comics that they've been looking for. And if you're trying to find them now, you're going to be able to do it a little easier. So those were the ones that have dropped. These are the ones to go up now. We're going to start off with a sexy classical book.
Damn it.
That's what she said. It's the Naked Jump Rope cover. This was featured on the news back in 1992 when this came out. And you'd think in the 90s that it was a little bit more lenient, but back in the 90s, early 90s, if it was a slow news day, they'd go, hey, did you know that Superman died today? And then you'd have a 3-block line around a comic store trying to buy Superman 75. Didn't quite work the same way with this. This was just, hey, wow, this looks like children shouldn't be getting it. So a lot of non-comic collectors got it, which is why it's a little bit more difficult to find from others. But it came out in 1992 in a very fine minus 8.5 raw, $136, which is about appropriate because it's up 24. It usually hovers around $100 or so, but if you have to pay the extra $30, I mean, it's fine. But this thing is up and down, so if you wait long enough, there's enough copies that are out there still. Number 4 is Marvel Previews 94. If we remember back at the beginning of the pandemic, you had Tom Garcia, Comic Tom 101, and he was talking about the 95, which is the next issue that has the first front-facing image of Miles Morales. Well, this goes one deeper. This one here features the first interior printed image of Miles Morales from the Mark Djurjevic. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right.
Yeah, Djurjevic.
Awesome. Is the Mark Djurjevic 1:25 ratio variant for the Ultimate Fallout 4. So that's inside here, and it's the first time you see Miles Morales. And great, it's a previews. And I used to think that this is total bullshit, which is fair to think that way. I used to think that way of second prints too. But then when it was explained to me that a lot of these were just thrown out or marked up and they're considered trash, and I get that. But just like, let's just say Action Comics 1 that had 1 million of them printed, but now there's less than 100 in existence because why? They were considered disposable stuff. And so is previews. But since the 94, if there's a first cover, front facing, whatever the hell, you know, people are picking it up. They're not throwing away the previews anymore. So the new previews, maybe it needs to go back down to garbage before it's worth anything. But these things, well, this particular one came out in 2011 and in a 7.0, which means people have been looking at this. $82. It's up 32. I personally paid about $30 for it a few months ago, and I'm happy for that. Do I think it's worth more than that? Not really. But if you wait long enough, I'm sure you could find it. There are some there. It's not that it's that rare.
I have 2 things to say about that. It's utterly. Oh, sorry, I didn't know that I was on.
Oh, go ahead.
It's utterly ridiculous and garbage, and I own the preview that has the first Miss Marvel, so I'm a hypocrite.
Well, to be fair, way back in the day, they used to have those old fanzines, which would print Ms. Marvel, and it would have Deathlock and characters of the sort. And technically, yes, they'd be months before they were ever released by Marvel. So those fanzines are technically the first published printed image. I mean, we had something like that with a Foom magazine that had the exact cover, but just with some weird color variation on it for Foom and Giant Size X-Men #1. Technically, that's the first cover front-facing image of Storm, Nightcrawler, Thunderbird, and Wolverine. So great. Oh, well. But this is for those people that are not necessarily run collectors, just of rarities, and not everybody's going to be digging this. Not everybody knows what it is also. This is basically art history class where you just remember cover and buy it, or you forget what it is and go, oops, I didn't know that was the first appearance of Schlemiel Schlabobelzak. Yeah, exactly. That's what it feels like whenever they introduce a new character these days. All right, so number 3, this is the iconic Joker cover by Jock this is not a key. There's no first appearances in this, but what it is a very pretty cover. And already from there, you can see what number 2 is. But this came out in 2011, just like our Marvel previews, the last one, near mint condition, $160. Back in 2021 at the height of the COVID boom, man, people were paying $225, $250, sometimes $300. I was watching on some of those auctions. Not so much anymore. Really, I think if you're paying more than about $120, you're overpaying. This was printed in equal numbers as everything else, and the issue 881, which is the final issue of Volume 1, doesn't go for anywhere near the amount. So this is just a pretty cover, and if you look long enough, I'm sure you could find it. Or perhaps, like I tell anybody else, if you're trying to find a particular book in a run, just look for a lot and hope that this might be in that lot and people don't realize it. That's how I got not the next one, but the issue 180 of Incredible Hulk. I ordered a lot, and the first appearance of Wolverine was inside. They didn't know. He wasn't on the cover. 181 wasn't there, but I wasn't expecting it. So number 2 is Incredible Hulk 102. Last week, number 1 was Captain America number 100 because we're getting close to 4th of July. But when people are starting to get those 100 issues, the return to titles, usually these aren't too far behind. And as number 2, this is the return back to Hulk from his own title. It was canceled at issue 6, and then he was printed in Stories of Tales to Astonish from 59 to 101, and 102 is where they just decided to arbitrarily pick this back up. So this came out in 1968, like some of the others here on the list, and at a 7.0 raw, fine, very fine, $314, which is about right. It's up 65, and again, if you wait long enough, you probably can get these for less. 1968 was a blow-up year for Marvel, so a lot of these are in a lot more of abundance than books from 1967. Now, the number 1 book is a horror book. It's Silver Age, and Silver Age DC. What could that be?
Phantom Stranger? No.
Oh, I wish. I love Phantom Stranger. He reminds me of Doctor Who a bit. So this is the new format change in House of Mystery number 174. And later on, they bring in Cain and Abel for the House of Mystery and the House of Secrets. And later on, a certain pedophile would go and use it in his series and then steal from this girl that wrote Tales of the Flat Earth. And well, we don't talk about his name anymore because he's just he's not great. So the fun, that guy. So this came out in 1968 in a very good fine. It's a 5.0 raw, $327. It's up $170. And if you're trying to find these older books, it's going to be a lot, maybe a little bit easier, but people are now, if you have all the superhero books you want, well, now it's time to start romance. Now it's time to start war. Now it's time to start horror. People are looking for new niches, and this is just one of them. And we're seeing a lot of these Silver and Bronze Age horror going up now. But you know what we're not seeing going up? So the fun... yeah, all his books are dropping off the map. So those are the comics of the top 10. And just to remind everybody, this, again, based off of my personal collection of 28,000 comics, and the list is intended to assist and help collectors and readers determine if they should look for a particular book or series or wait 6 weeks. And if at 6 weeks is still up, wait 6 months. And if it's still up at 6 months, might as well buy it because that bitch ain't going down. It's not. It's just going to probably keep going up, and then you're going to go, I wish I bought it then. So there we go. Those are the top 10, and we did it in the first few minutes, and now we can roll on with the show. And we are going to be talking about Peter David tonight because I lost my train of thought.
What's that? What's that?
This is I have a problem.
Oh.
My son goes to the Goodwill bins, and I follow him sometimes. And there was this bag of very clean, grippy gloves. So like that's the grippy texture. And I wasn't sure what I could use them for, but
you knew you could use them.
I knew I had to get them. So if anybody needs some grippy gloves.
Oh no, I'm going to have to retitle you. Just like how we have Monty as Mr. White Gloves, You're going to be Mr. Red Gloves.
Mr. Star Gloves, Mr.
Grippy gloves.
Spirit Gloves.
Some gloves, some skin moisturizer, and a dream. That's all he has.
Nice.
Puts the lotion in the basket.
Mm.
Can I go first? Because I got to take off and deliver a child to a prom.
Fine.
You gotta go to your prom. We know.
Fine.
Prom is important, and just to let the audience know, we will be getting to Peter David, and we will be talking about that shortly. But first, as we always do, we're going to show some books, and we're going to start with Tacoma.
Oh, me? Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
You.
Stephanie Hans.
Oh, pretty. I need
Absolute
it.
Wonder Woman.
Is it number 8?
Look at the big sword. Yep.
I need to get number 8. I haven't gotten it yet.
I think Rob showed this the other day, but okay. This next
She
book,
loved.
I got at half price today. It was only $3. I would never in a million years buy a book from this creator, but you tell me why I got it.
Because I don't know. Oh, it's because it's got a signature.
Yeah. So I looked it up. That actually is Liefeld's signature.
So
Somebody will want it. So boom.
I could have
I'm
easily thought there was Morant Michaels.
I'm excited about this one because
yes, Queen. Look at you. It's a variant too. Ron Lim, I think.
Yeah. Oh, is it Ron Lim? I didn't even check.
Maybe.
Yes, it is.
I've got one. I've got one of DMs.
Yeah. Is it? It's after Ron Lim, Israel Silva. Yeah. I do. I've got like most of this series, but I did not have this particular one. I've got Marvel Rising Alpha.
I got
a lot
the
of
whole
ones,
thing.
but
It took
this
a
is
minute
pretty
to
cool.
put together, though. It took a minute.
Found a set of Thrawn. Pretty.
But have
cheap.
you read Prawn?
I have not had prawns, just Thrawns.
Is it true his mother was a
From what I
Smurf?
hear, well, that too.
Your
Yeah,
mother
he's
was
a
a
Smurf.
whore.
Grown up, mutated, evolved Smurf, and that series is supposed to be based off of his origin from the era of the Empire, which I've never read.
So I grabbed this because, final issues and all. Well, Ashley Witter, final issue of Dr. Aphra, first series.
What, 40? 40? What number?
Yep. Issue 40. So, I already have that run, but I haven't got a problem. You guys understand. This is the best Star Wars cover ever. Fight me.
Hey, I have that one too.
Is it? Is that the best one?
It's the best one. It's Leia.
Yeah.
Why is she wearing
a galaxy?
Why is she wearing Vader's cape?
She's wearing a gown of the galaxy. It's beautiful and inspirational.
Yeah, you asshole.
And then somebody just decided
My asshole's inspired
to drop the whole 2015 run of Star Wars at half price books. So I've been collecting little bits and pieces as I go.
Cool.
60 and 61.
What did it go to?
75.
5.
So I
My
collected
LCS
from
has
the
sorry.
I collected from the top down because I figured these are harder to get, lower print, less people buying them. Only I was interested in the series at this point. 65, some very cool. It's 2 tubes. That's Saul Guerrero's guy, Henchman.
Beautiful covers.
These are great. Phil Noto. Not sure if these are Phil Noto. Later ones are Phil Noto. These are not Phil Noto, actually. But they are beautiful. This is Phil Noto.
Can I ask, Ian, how's the interior art? Because sometimes they do a bait and switch. Beautiful covers.
The beginning of this series was pretty horrible interior, but it got better for sure. Look at this one.
Yeah, I love it. The covers are amazing. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Is this a Charles Soule one?
No, this is the one Greg Pak finished this. Jason Aaron started it.
Well, go back. Was Leia cheating on Han Solo? What was going on there?
So Leia was working as a rebel spy before she became a rebel general.
She was a hua.
Before. This is before.
She was a hua.
A hua.
If you want to read a great, we don't have a lot of great single stories anymore, especially with Star Wars, because some of the writing is teased out, I guess. But Star Wars Annual 2 from the 2015 series is a great read. 73, got the cleft chin, most important feature on Luke. 74, And the one where
Ooh,
he is
they had
fixing
their
a
arm deodorant.
a clog in the toilet, 75.
Nice. I love that cover too. Geez, they're all really good.
So I'll go back and get the 50s next week and see if I can reproduce the whole series and then sell them for less than I paid for them because nobody actually wants them but me. What are you going to do? I have a disease.
Speaking of reproduction,
But I'll make all my money back with the Liefeld Sig.
There you go. All right, go take
That's
your
all.
kid to prom.
Oh, wait. Here's something
There's
cool.
more.
Oh, wait. I showed this last week. Never mind. No, I didn't because I got it on
Show it.
Saturday. No, I got it the week before. Never mind.
Show
You've
it.
seen it. Goodbye. Thank you.
Bye.
Love you. Bye. Thank you so much for coming.
keep your daughter safe.
Remember this line from Clueless. I have a shovel and a shotgun in my trunk, and I doubt anybody would miss you.
Okay, you don't have to scare her
She's
boyfriend.
6'4". I'm okay.
She's 6'4".
Oh, yeah.
What?
Oh, then in that case, use the line from Face Off. Give her one of those
6'2",
flips
6'3".
blade
Yeah.
and tell her that don't pull this out.
How tall are you?
I'm only 5'10", and my wife's 5'6". We're not sure what's going on.
You got an anomaly. It's the
And
mailman.
Shaquille O'Neal 7'2". Does she look like Shaquille O'Neal?
Just like her. Him.
No,
All right.
she's lacking pigmentation and other issues.
Okay. Well,
That would-
tell her to have a great night, but be safe. I lost a lot of things on my prom night.
I stayed home and
We're
smoked
okay.
weed because
we
I was
are
in a
we
wheelchair.
are Ace and Arrow.
All right. I'm gonna
Go,
show you.
lady.
Oh.
Your turn.
I'm gonna show you what I got from the
Your
LCS
turn.
today. Okay. So I'm gonna show you the 50-cent bin stuff that I found first.
You can find me in the club.
No,
Excellent.
She said,
Party full of bug.
shout
this
out.
one I picked up for the Mastodon. I found another Edgar Allan Poe book, The Raven. So I'm gonna put that in this pile.
Who's the signature? Galen Wilson?
It's not his signature. I thought that
Oh,
at first too, but it's not.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah. And I found this in the 50-cent bin
Oh, nice.
with the fucking cigar. What a
I
bag.
love it.
I love
Oh,
it so
queen.
much. Come on. Ugh.
Queen.
I found this for 50 cents. It's in like
Nice.
excellent shape. Beautiful George Perez, Wonder Woman 23. And I picked this one up from my buddy JD from the 50-cent bin. This is Nightwing and Magilla Gorilla. It's from the crossover, the Hanna-Barbera and the DC crossover.
Yeah.
Yeah. With a bonus story, a secret squirrel. So it's very, very exciting. Here's some news. I picked up this Sister Imperator #3. And then I picked up this reprint, Army at War 151. Yeah, the Sergeant Rob. Is that
The original and the foil.
turd?
Yeah. You know, you stinker.
Uncanny X-Men 150 or sorry 15.
I haven't read that one yet. It's upstairs. I got to
I
give
just
it a
got
read.
it. I just
It
got
could be
it.
like closer to what, like 150 or 850.
Yeah. Red Coat #12. It just came out this week, I think.
I didn't know that.
Trader.
And then Hyde Street #6. I really like the cover.
The ghost variant.
Yeah. And these are the two back issue bins. This one I got from myself because I love this movie as a kid. And I watched it over and over again, but it's Walt Disney Showcase with bed knobs and broomsticks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I used to watch this like all the time. Someone had videotaped it off of TV or something, and I used to watch it on VHS over and over.
Angela Lansbury, if I do recall,
Yes, you recall correctly.
before she
Murder,
wrote about
She Wrote.
murder.
I loved it. And this I got from my boy JD. I rarely see Magicia, but I found a Magicia Dispel
Ooh.
Walt Disney, and it's a 25 center. So I was like, oh shit, I got to get this for my boy JD.
I've
'cause
never seen a Magician. That's crazy.
Oh, so he loves Uncle Scrooge and Magicia. You know, she's wily. So
Okay.
Her powers vary from issue to issue, from having no powers to having all the powers.
there you go. All right, that's all I got.
Michael.
Okay.
Michelle.
I don't have that
How do you like those maggots, Michael?
I like them fine. I like them.
Sir, all I can think of when I hear it, Michael, is that scene from Lost Boys.
Oh yeah.
All right. I'm glad there's a reference there. There's otherwise it sounded like I'm like, what is this?
Please let there be a reference.
Oh, it's when he's like, he drank the blood and they're like eating Chinese, or he thinks it's rice and it looks like maggots. And
Okay, the reason I picked this up, got this off eBay. Well, nice Neil Adams cover, but I love Walter Simonson, and this was, I think, the only way I could get this story. I don't know how else you can get this story.
dude, Walt Simonson's the bomb.
Yeah,
Him and Wheezy.
Louise, yeah.
I had to pick it up. I raced out to the comic shop after I saw the Edgar Allan Poe book. This is one of my favorite.
Which one?
So this is
After you
Alice
saw
in
the Edgar
Wonderland,
Allan Poe,
Through
you
the
got
Looking
the which
Glass.
one? Alice
So
in
it's-
Wonderland
Through the Looking Glass.
So you really did go get one because you knew about these. Then
Yeah.
you're like, I need to get a Through the Looking Glass one.
Yeah. Well, that's my favorite story. Little brag, like the most expensive thing I've ever bought is a first edition Alice Through the Looking Glass, because I love Lewis Carroll. I can't afford the Alice in Wonderland first
He was
copy.
a total perv. No, I'm just kidding.
He wasn't. See, I think that's wrong. I don't think he was.
Yeah, like just like Michael Jackson, right? No, I'm just kidding. We're just fucking with you, dude. No, I understand. I think he was an odd man, but I get what you say.
Look here. Okay, my quick take, because I understand people think he was a pedophile. I think he was.
There's no substantiated evidence.
No. I because they kind of said it because he hated little boys and he loved little girls. But I kind of, having raised two daughters and seeing little boys their same age, I kind of get that, because girls are much calmer and more socially adaptable, and boys are like smashing through walls. So that's the way I interpret it. I didn't interpret him like I like little girls. I interpreted like he was a bachelor, a priest, a reverend, and he liked spending time with little girls. And I'm guessing he maybe had a fatherly attitude towards them. I could be wrong. So if I can't go through time machine, but I dug out some old
McFarlane
Hulk issues. We're going to
David
talk
was
about him
right.
later. I know Rob's going to talk probably a lot more about him.
Yeah, I didn't grab any of that because I don't plan worth a damn.
But these are
But
some of
you
my
rhyme
favorite
big time.
Yeah.
from it.
I
I think this was right after the Wolverine cover, actually. I have the Wolverine cover, but I couldn't find it.
340 is the Wolverine one.
Oh, is this, yeah, is this 341? Yeah, so this is 341. Yeah, it's right after. Boop.
Yeah, I have all those upstairs.
And this is one of my favorites.
love
Like I
that
said,
one.
if you tuned in last week, I love covers where they're destroying their own logo.
Title interaction, baby.
One of the things I love about Peter David, and I loved about that run, I'm not going to show you the whole run, is
Dang, Jim, that's nice.
he could actually, like, he wrote for Hulk, and for like decades it was like, I don't understand why Hulk still has a comic. He's boring to me. He's just like fight.
He gave him a level of dynamism, and you understood then, like, from his past, like the trauma from his abusive father, and why he has to wrestle internally with these different sides of himself, you know?
Yeah,
I like
the funny thing is that a lot of this was taken from Bill Mantlo in his run, where it initially showed that his father was abusive. But even funnier than that is that I know that Lady and I both read this, the Barry Windsor Smith Monsters, which was an alternative universe sort of Hulk that Barry Windsor Smith was working the better part of 20 years on. So this story was floating around since the
magnum
early 80s.
opus.
It really is. It is just masterclass in storytelling, visual art,
Penmanship.
everything.
Yeah.
And here's where the but comes in. The but is this, that a lot of those ideas were supposed to be introduced into the Hulk, but instead, Bill Mantlo took a couple of those seeds and were used for his book, which was then picked up by Peter David to further use. So this seed of an idea went one way for Monsters and a completely different way for Incredible Hulk, but it still attributes both to great character design work.
Well, and if we're going to quickly talk about Monsters and Barry Windsor Smith's magna opus, and you should, as a comic fan, read it. I like that it's separate from the Hulk, because I think he could get deeper and more gruesome and more emotional because it wasn't connected to a Marvel universe or a Marvel.
It was like real life war, like a vet, you know.
Yeah,
it was just about this sad man that was just tested on by the military, which anybody that knows anything about the military from the 1970s and before, we did some pretty horrible shit.
They still don't.
Yeah, we're still doing it.
Bro, you know what we're doing? We're beta testing next level American weapons on Palestinians. We're giving them to Israelis to try them out. I'm not even fucking with you.
Oh, I know. And I just read earlier today that they were knocking down more high-rise buildings because, hey, Hamas might be in it, but they're just destroying the whole region. And that's another conversation for another day.
Humanity. I'm pro-humanity. Just
so much. I mean, let's just go all the way back to right after 9/11. If you're not with us, you're against us. Anybody that says something like that, they are probably the bad guys because they're trying to manipulate you. Use your own reasoning and rationale and find out who benefits, and you will be far away and ahead of any political game, any personal game, any game at work. Find out who benefits.
Yeah. Don't choose sides. Choose humanity.
But to bring it back to Peter David.
Yes. Back to Peter David.
He did a miracle. Like, not only did he write Amazing Hulk, he did it for, and you guys could know better than me, what, 200 issues? I'm probably exaggerating only a bit. It went on, and he kept interest. He kept evolving the character. He kept writing interesting stories. And again, this was with a character I didn't feel anybody could ever write interesting stories for. And he managed to write interesting story after interesting story, level on level and level. So to me, I always look at Peter David. He's an amazing comic book writer. He was a craftsman first. He could craft a story, characters. He could develop characters. And he also was one of those rare people who could actually translate humor into comics and work his humor into it. And it worked, because some people think they're humorous and it doesn't translate well, but I think he had a great sense of humor that did translate well. So to me, yeah, he was a miracle worker. I guess the only thing I could say negative about, he doesn't have a run that I would like hold in my top 10 runs, I guess I would personally say, but I would say every single run he did is quality and worth reading as a comic book fan. He never disappointed me whenever I read an issue with him.
Yeah, whenever he was doing ones that were self-contained, like he did an Aquaman that way, he did the Maestro, he did the Future Hulk, those 2-issue run. That was fantastic. And then it was expanded on 3 different volumes of like 5 or 6 issues for the Maestro trilogy that he did in the later years. And it was all based off of those 2 issues that came out in the 90s, which was mostly just known for extreme comics. No, he could tell a very detailed, deep story instead of, hey, let's just take two toys and mash them together. And then one of his best individual comics, maybe not that one, is Hulk the End. It's drawn by a guy that's not one of my favorites. He got wasted ass drunk on a stream and started getting into the really racist side of comic books. And there's a term for that, and I don't bring it up here on the show. I let Miracleman do that. But Hulk the End, it ended on one of the greatest scenes for Incredible Hulk ever. It's the end of the world. He's been battling his own demons, actual demons, because the world is a radiated wasteland. And the final page is Hulk, the strongest one there is. As it pans back, Hulk, the only one there is. And it's just about his loneliness, and it was fantastic.
Hulk sad. Sorry.
I feel like the Hulk, because what does Hulk want more than anything else in the world? To be left alone.
Okay. So that was my little bit. Thank you. Oh, that's a beautiful cover. Where'd that come from?
Your mom. This is what if
My
Thor
mom's
was...
never been in one comic book shop.
She has to. Been in this comic. first appearance of Michael's mom is what if Thor was a herald of Galactus. It was written by Robert Kirkman, who is best friends with Michael's mom. He cut her hair back in the 70s. I don't know. Yeah, this is
While she was watching Mork and Mindy and the Love
Yeah.
Boat.
yeah. And then here's another. Here's a Dark Rain what if. And Tacoma. Do you see something?
I see it. Beautiful. It's gorgeous. That's the way
Yeah.
comics should be.
Yeah.
Still go to the corner shop and get them.
Yeah.
What is
Well,
that,
it's
like
actually
2010?
incorrectly labeled. It's labeled Power
Oh, it's
Pack.
mislabeled. Power Pack. Yeah. So like
It's a Barnes and Noble one, probably.
2011, 2012. Nice.
Yeah. This is one of my favorite what ifs. These are just some random books that I have with me. I could show. I have 4 Bernie Wrightsons that I could show in a row.
I bet you
Oh,
can.
yeah.
I bet you $100 you can.
I bet you I can too, if I want to. Here's the Tower of Shadows number 8.
That's 1.
Yeah. And here's the Tower of Shadows number 9.
That's 2. We're only halfway there. I don't think she can do it.
I don't
Right.
think you
I
can
love it.
count. It's hard for Canadians.
Jesus, stop.
How many maple leaves?
Yeah, we can't count up to 51. That's for sure.
3 maple leaves. 3.
I'm an American. I am wearing my California shirt. This is
Nuh-uh.
my passport.
Proud to be an
You know
American.
what you look like to me with your good bag and your cheap shoes? You look like a rube.
You know what? The next thing he said to her was basically
Cool.
my entire history. You're nothing but one generation away from poor white trash. Don't
All
you?
those sticky fumblings in the back.
Mm. Oh my God.
Reading everything all the way to
Right.
That's a Peach Minoka cover. Come on. Not
This
even.
is-
No, that was
this is
Silence of the
Snoop
Lambs.
Nope, stop talking, go to jail.
This is a John Jang.
Jimmy John Jane cover. Everybody knows that.
This is Neil Adams.
Nice.
One of the good Neils. Don't throw it away. Oh no, now it's upside down. Now it looks like he's 69ing Robin.
fucking tracer! Your mother's a tracer!
Yeah, so this, sorry.
I love it when he strangles Robin. Robin likes it.
Robin is,
He's
yeah.
into it. They're kinky.
Here's
Hey, wait,
another
look
Neil.
at that. That's beautiful. I love that. I've never seen
92
that.
Bat
Bat
Adams,
Squad.
too.
Isn't it like the only appearance of the Bat Squad?
It is the only appearance of the Bat Squad. I
Just-
got that a few weeks ago, and even then my dealer was going, that's their only appearance, right? Yeah.
They don't matter, but you
That's
know, whatever.
what. Better.
It's like that Batman 205 with the first feline furries or
I want to
furies.
say this one's Nick Cardy. I think.
I think so.
It's either that or Joe Kubrick, but
I feel like it's not Joe.
Doesn't
Give
have
me
the
the
line
number, I'll
work.
look it up.
though.
give me the number.
96.
96. Okay, I'll look it
96. This one is 100% Neil Adams.
And the cover is Nick Cardy. You got it. Like there's a few Nick cover artists. That's funny. Nick Cardy, Murphy Anderson, Carmen Infantino. I don't think that's true. So it's probably Nick Cardy.
Cardi B.
Cardi B.
Oh, nice.
I know. I got to give this one to Naman. It's for my boy Naman, because you know how much of a Jetsons fan he is.
Oh.
He loves his Jetsons.
So awesome.
I got to get my boy Naman a 12 center Jetsons. He'll shit himself.
You know, as a scientist, you know that
There's no
that
sound
dog
in
would
space.
actually blow up in the vacuum of space if they towed him like that. So
Yeah.
wait, what was the dog's name? I
Oh,
forget.
His boy
Astro.
Leroy.
Astro. Leroy was not the dog.
His boy was Leroy, right? And his wife, my boy. Sorry.
Judy, Jane,
Astro.
Leroy, and Astro.
And Rosie,
And Rosie.
a robot.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
Ooh, ooh, ah, ah.
Fully functional robot.
Wait, no, that wasn't it. What was the
Rosie
song?
I liked Rosie. She was sassy. She gave it right back.
Meet John Jetson.
Eep, oop, orca, ah. Remember that?
Jane, his
Which
wife.
one?
Eep, oop, orca, ah. They did a whole show about that song that when everybody was singing it.
Eep, oop,
Yeah,
oop.
everybody was singing it.
All right, never mind.
Your mom was singing
Pretend
it
I
while,
didn't.
Your mom was singing it.
while I impregnated her.
The loudest. Your mom
Keep
was singing it the loudest. Oh, here's some Marvel team ups I could show. Here's a Marvel team up 43.
Spider-Man, Doctor Doom.
What is
They
that
didn't
one? Show
team
it.
up.
What is it? Show it. Hey, it's just
You've
says
seen it before. I'm just teasing Michael.
What is it? Is it
Michael's price.
what?
$100.
Down to $100? Oh, all the Aquamans. Yeah,
There's
I
more
know.
than there were. It was already 100 when I offered to you. I was just trying to sell it to other people for 125.
I
Oh,
know,
I'm just
that's a
saying.
lot.
it.
They just they accidentally popped into my hand. Sorry.
Do
I
you really
love
like
them.
Aquaman?
I love it's all Nick Cardy covers. I love them.
Your favorite Swamp Thing cover is number 2. I'm trying to think what number 2 is. I don't think I can remember what number 2 looks like. My favorite, I think, is 5.
First American appearance of Captain Britain.
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't have even got past the ice agents nowadays.
My
First cover appearance of John Belushi.
not ready for primetime players. SNL, baby.
Very cool.
And then we got
Are we okay with how he portrayed Japanese people? Would that be insensitive now?
there's
It would be very insensitive, but he did it and it was funny.
No, go back the other one. That's one of my favorite one. Go back, Sonia.
that's the Claremont and Byrne one.
Yeah. Do you know who Sonia became? Like she wasn't
Mary
Sonia.
Jane.
That's right. Mary Jane became
my
Sonia.
Mary Jane.
And then Peter Parker afterwards said, "Can we keep the boobs?"
Hold on. Let's see. I've got this. There's some Hulk. It's not Peter David Hulk.
Wendigo.
First appearance of
Look how white
Fandango.
that villain is. You know he's from Canada.
I will look at that. I just
So
hate that they
Shadow. Is that fur?
They completely
oh.
shadow out his ding dong plays.
If Hulk can wear purple pants that never rip, they
I
could have just put like a
White.
loincloth.
Yeah, but
It's just
all our ding dongs are in shadow in Canada. It's a rule.
you people live in shame. I really tell you what.
Well, it's so cold.
You
So-
people. Let's see. Oh, here's you go. Here's some cherry.
Oh, very nice.
Cherry baby.
Let me show you the back on this. I think there's some saucy back. Yeah.
Oh my.
What is that? Steven
Wait,
Tyler of Aerosmith and Cherry.
Oh, that's Aerosmith. I thought it was Ozzy Osbourne. No, it's not Ozzy Osbourne.
No, it says Steven Tyler.
Okay.
This-
Honestly, does he know he's carrying a drawing and not a real person?
Fuck censorship. Here's looking at you, White House.
The Comic Book Legal Defense Fund got itself in some trouble a few years back.
What did it do?
There was a whole big thing.
Look at this.
I forget-
Usuki Majimbo.
Oh, nice.
Getting it. He's
Oh,
getting it.
that's hysterical.
Did
I
Stan
love it.
actually
My
draw that?
portion of the evening.
Oh,
Did
that's
Stan draw
awesome.
that?
Grab the ears. No, it's Bodie and Wells. Look, Mark
Okay.
Bodie.
Nice.
Stan seems like such a straight-laced guy. I can't believe he'd ever do that.
Damn.
Damn, man.
All right, Coffee Monster.
What up? Yeah, I'm just looking through this cherry.
Yeah, you love Usagi. She loves Usagi a little bit more than you.
Usuki Majimbo.
I wonder if it tastes like a carrot.
Probably
They said they should breed like rabbits.
tastes gamey.
Dave.
Let's go back to the Usuki Majimbo. That was
Usagi Majimbo. Did they say that? That's a good joke.
Usuki Majimbo.
Now it just
Brilliant.
feels like it was designed for that like wordplay. That is great. That is brilliant.
I'll have to send you a picture of this. Now you need to get this
love
copy, bro.
I do. What issue is it?
It's Cherry 17.
Like from what year? Is that like an old thing?
Cherry
Or...
Comics number 7. No, it's like 94, I want to say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 1994.
One more issue and she'll be legal.
Oh, actually, it says 1995.
Okay, because yeah, Usagi wasn't that much earlier than that.
It says Cherry 1995. And
Steven
it looks like
Tyler.
it's a first printer, April 1995.
And retailers are instructed not to sell to minors.
Yeah. If they dig for gold, don't sell for them.
Okay. Right.
But if they bring cash, all bets are off. I'm
Okay,
pretty sure that's how I got most of my Faust run.
Dude, Faust is wild. Oh, I got this one too. I got the Linsner.
Ooh,
Nice.
You showed that last week. Did you show that last week?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. But I'm showing
Worth
it
showing
again.
twice.
Well, guess what? You're now getting one of these.
Warning, 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 warning. Banger alert, banger alert.
Yeah, that was on a bunch of top 10s last week.
Yeah, it was originally Cherry Pop Tart, and then it got a little strikey strike or copyright infringement, so they had to just change it like Cherry.
Words
Comic.
hard.
Huh?
Words hard.
Words are hard. They are.
So is conjugating.
Yeah. Oh, here it is. I was wondering, where's my... Oh, shit, Lady with the Fire. What did I show that was fire?
The one I had to issue a banger alert for.
What was that one?
Fire, lady.
The one with the cakes.
Oh, this one.
Yeah. that's fire.
Cakes.
What you gonna do with all that cake? Yeah. I have this Frank Thorne thingamajigger, this erotic worlds of Frank Thorne by Eros
Interesting.
Comics.
Interesting.
There's some stuff in there. And then this is Comics Interview Special Edition with Frazetta, Frank Frazetta. So you got a little naked. I like the Panther, but then you've got the lady with her hoo-ha too. Dang, how big are areolas?
I want to show something.
They're
Reasonable.
huge.
Like saucer dishes. All right. And then I got my Black Cat. Final issue 65.
Your bangers are so awesome. Look at what you did to everybody. Michael's gone. Ian's gone.
I like fuck these
I'm
guys.
back. I wanted to show something.
Oh, you got the Frazetta.
Is that like, what is that, Fire and Ice or something? What is it?
No, it's a beautiful collection. Now I got the cheap
Whoa.
one. There's a bigger one that's worth 5 times as much, but I
Yeah.
cheaped out a bit. But it's got the same content. But it's
Yeah.
It looks like that cover
looks
was used
beautifully
for Fire and
bound.
Ice.
yeah,
Yeah, it
it's
looks
a
very-
beautiful collection. I won't do it justice
Oh.
quickly, but it's basically a collection of all his art over the
Oh,
years.
yeah. That's awesome,
So,
dude.
So,
I
yeah,
have a
if you
couple
go-
of creepies with Frazetta covers.
Coffee's got the bigger one.
She has the bigger one. Do you? You little shit. Coffee said she's got the bigger one.
It's
Frazetta
probably his
stuff
most
is-
famous cover.
That's not Frazetta's most famous cover. Are you fucking with
No,
me?
what? Really?
No, that would be one of those. I'm forgetting the name of the title. but
Death
it looks like
Dealer,
a
I would
rocket-
say. I would say Death Dealer, maybe.
That's up there, but there were those covers that were inspired for
Some vampy
Steven
dude.
Spielberg.
Vampirellas are pretty epic.
Okay, I got a Vampirella.
Yeah. His vampies were not to be trifled with. Was it Vampy 1 Frazetta? I'm pretty sure it was. I'm pretty sure Vampy 1 was Frank Frazetta.
No, I know what you're talking about, the Death Dealer, but that was a cover for an album, wasn't it?
But it's
Like,
still
is
one
this-
of his
is this
like
what you're
most...
talking about? Is that what you're talking about?
No, it's him on the horse.
Oh, horse. Okay, I'll get the horse one. That was in here too.
That's one. But then there's a couple of ones from Creepy that are, it's like there's one called like the Clay Monsters or something. Yeah, Vampy is what he really like. That's what I'm thinking, because he did Vampy 1 and that was like
Okay, Famous Funnies 209 is where it begins. Cover work by Frank Frazetta and Buck Rogers. But he did some amazing covers on the Famous
That's
Funnies like
Deadfiller.
210, 211. Where's this one I'm looking for? There we go. Weird Science Fantasy number 29 has this cover. Let me see if I can bring that up here.
Oh, you should pull it up on your screen, bro, and make it.
Whoa.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
I don't think that was in
amazing.
here. I don't think that
This
was in
is the book that started giving inspiration to Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, and all because it was this great sci-fi stuff.
I think that book's like a couple hundred, $300.
It says high grade 2.5 thousand, low grade 350. But if I go to look on eBay, they just barely exist, and you're going to be paying a lot more than that.
Yeah.
Yep. Coffee says Vampiro is what he's famous for.
Yeah, because Jeff is like a crazy Frazetta, like it is like savant, and he's a vampy savant, and like I'm pretty sure like when he was telling me the entire Vampirella thing, like Frazetta was the man. Frazetta Vampirella.
Yeah, do a share screen.
Yeah, he did. He did the very first one. He did the very so let me do the maybe you control this. I don't know.
Oh, I was muted. Just hit present and whatever screen you're on.
You talking to me?
Yes.
I don't want to do it. Okay, so hold on. Let me go to StreamYard. Let me go to present.
Correct.
Right? Is that
Yes.
it? Present,
Yes.
share screen. I don't have any of those creepies, but I do have I have Creepy 15. Look that one up if they have it. Present, share screen.
I don't think they're numbered, but if you see a creepy 15, let me know.
Okay.
Hey, Tacoma, you have a creepy 15?
Do I have a creepy 15? I do not.
Do you guys see it?
Do now.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's the vampy that
Replica.
I'm talking about. And this is just like a replica. So, but then there's his Vampirella 5 I remember liking a lot. There's some Vampirella covers.
There it is.
Yeah. And we need to check of Vampirella 8 as well. See, look at that. Bro, come on, man. That's high art.
Did it open in another screen?
Is it
No, it's
showing?
all good.
Yeah. Can you not see it?
We're still looking at the different 5s that you have up there. Oh, and it's off.
Okay, hold on. Let me go back. Present, share screen, this one, share. Okay.
Smoking
There we
fantasy.
go.
Yeah, this one I love.
Cakes.
This is at number 7. Oh, I love 7.
7 is a much more expensive book to get.
I actually had a copy of this and I sold it to my boy Puff 83. Yep.
If you clicked on it, it's still on that original page.
Oh fuck.
I see similar items.
Hold on. Let me go
I
to
see.
I spy with
A
my
good-looking
eye.
guy in the top left. Oh, that's me. Hi.
screen. Share. There we go. Okay. Yeah. I mean, this is just. Oh,
Get it. Click on it. Buy it now.
no.
Look
Oh,
that
look at the
body.
stamp right across her tum tum.
Oh, she's on
Somebody
Ozempic for
stained that.
sure.
Don't take a black light to it, folks. Just don't. Reasons.
Oh, look at that. A Doug Minch story.
he drew women with all their curves, not
Mhm.
little skinny minis that couldn't survive the wilderness.
It's kind of like after Marvel Rivals was starting to not do as hot as it was. And it's like, well, what do we have next? Well, we have, who are we introducing? We're introducing Emma Frost. Make her thick. No, thicker. I want the ass to thigh and hip ratio to be like 1:50.
Here's Creepy 15. I'll pull it up. This one. Boom, and I'll share it.
Thick.
So you do have like, I probably missed it, lady. Do you have a few original like Vampirella? Like
No, I have the creepies. So I've bought some original Vampirellas before, but when I had them, I sold them. Because I was not necessarily a massive Vampy fan. Like it's just never been my thing. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
This is the one. And so he
Whoa.
actually didn't have any
Monstrous menace.
he actually didn't have any like traditional paper to draw this on. So he actually took like a panel of tile and he did this like on tile.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's
The
why it
texture
has
is
its
great.
distinct kind of color. But the tile itself is brown. It's a brown tile. And he
The
did that.
texture makes it.
Hey,
Yeah. Isn't it great? Oh my God. It's so amazing.
You gotta go.
Oh,
See
and
you.
Tacoma's got to go. So,
Yeah.
real quick, Tacoma, are you going to be on any other shows coming up?
not that I know of in the short term. Eventually.
Not selling on Astonishing Comics tomorrow?
Nope. Not unless he texts me between now and then. I'd be happy to if he's listening.
I would also show up.
Excellent. It's a party. One more and it's an orgy.
All right. Thank you so much for coming, Tacoma. We'll see you next week, hopefully. And he's gone. It's kind of like all right, now that he's gone, I can give you all a little secret. Whenever we end our shows, we usually talk a little bit afterwards, but whenever we end the show, he's gone.
Oh,
He's gone.
he's like an asshole. Tacoma's an asshole and he just goes really fast. He doesn't
Like
last
diarrhea.
long.
It's like
I
diarrhea.
wouldn't go so far. Asshole.
He runs. We haven't seen your
All right, so do you
comics
want to
yet,
talk
Rob.
about because all I had was my top 10. I was going to be talking about the entire subject of the night, which is
PD.
Peter David.
PDA.
Peter David.
Peter David Afterlife.
Oh Lordy.
Okay.
Hey, Jaguar. So, yes, last weekend, Peter David passed away at the age of 68, and it was posted on about with his wife, letting us all know. And he's somebody that everybody knows that's been reading comics for any bit longer than before the pandemic. And to be fair, he's been writing comics all the way up until at least about 2022 when he released the Genesis Vel storyline. And I think that was 4 or 5 issues. And I believe that might have been the last one he was doing. Hey, Jigs, good to see you. We got to have you on the show
Yeah,
sometime
Jigs,
soon.
you need to come on sometimes, buddy. Man, you know who I'm going to meet up with at Heroes Con? That old boy, Jigs.
You're going to be also meeting Retro, and you're going to be meeting Vogs, and you're going to be meeting Christina.
I'm meeting
And
with Christina and Madam.
nice.
Dude, we're going to be so sassy. None of these
Buddy,
boys are going to be able to handle the estrogen that only 3 of us are putting out amongst a sea of sausages. They're just going to lose it.
When you get to the show, it's going to be 3 sassy, problematic mamas that are going to be having some fun, and you better stay out of the way because there's going to
6
be damage.
ovaries versus the con. No. It'll be fun. I'm excited. And yeah. You know what I saw somebody do? Listen to this, Jigs. You got to listen to this, Jigs. You should try this shit. I saw a meme and it showed a dude on eBay and it posted his profile pic and it was just of some random hot girl he found online. And he was like, I use this as my eBay profile pic and I send people the most ridiculous lowball offers and they usually accept because it's a hot chick, right? Try that. You guys should try that.
True.
You know what? I think I might have to.
I'm not even like, dude, honey pot it.
Now, I keep getting things like this that, let me see if I can find it. All right. Anybody get these? I'm sorting out the contracts. Do you know who I am? I'm like, I do not. I'm Daisy. Your phone number appears on my phone without a name. What's your name, please?
Nah.
I'm a court reporter in Miami. I'm Rob. This may be the wrong number. And then she sends a picture going, oh, I go to Miami a lot on vacation. Do you recognize me? If it's an Asian woman that is doing one of these, or if you're a woman and it's an Asian man, it is a scam. It's called pig butchering. And what that entails.
You should be like, are you giving any massages at Mar-a-Lago?
Oh, God.
Wait,
yeah,
what's
maybe I
pig
should
butchering? Tell me what pig butchering is.
Okay, so what pig butchering is, and hi, Jim. Peter, okay. So pig butchering is this. You have somebody reach out to you and they start to form a relationship. You think that you're talking to a real person. If it's a pretty woman, it's probably some guy in India or Pakistan or China, who knows, and they want you to buy some crypto at some point, and then they're going to come into an emergency where they need your help and only you can save them, Mr. White Knight. And then you'll start forwarding them some crypto, and before you know it, you don't have a house anymore because you just liquidated it.
But I love my
Oh,
house,
because
Rob.
you're in love.
I love my house. Yeah, that won't work on me.
Oh, and it looks like Jigs knows who that is. That's Layla.
That's Layla.
All right, so should we get back to Peter David? Because we'll wrap the show right up after that, because I know we usually get a little tired. It's the end of the week, and it's one of those times where some people want to go and party. I just want to go to bed.
I want to get off here and hang in the chat on Lou Grace.
Yes. So before we talk about Peter David, and we're only going to do it pretty quickly, it's that next up we have the low grades, of which our favorite coffee monster will be on that. So check out the low grades.
I'll pull up the link. Hold on. Let me grab the link.
Coffee,
because they should be on like now.
Cookie Monster.
Cookie Monster.
All the cookies.
I'm gonna tell her you said that though. Let me type
I
in.
think that just tells you my fat ass here needs a cookie.
Not
Oh, and I'm wearing this shirt, which my dad bought for me. And my dad doesn't know geek stuff. He is now driving from Washington, I guess, to Florida right now. Please don't die. But he got this, and he didn't know that this was geek stuff.
All right.
Transformers. Is
Booties,
it Transformers?
Marty McFly with the I'm trying to forget what the
I don't
DeLorean.
even know what I just shared, but copy. This is the. Oh, hold on. Let's see.
That is
Here's,
not a link. There it is.
I don't even. What was it to?
It's very simple to remember. AJAYKBADDLW. Okay, it's gone.
It is the right one. Click on it.
Question mark SI equals.
That's their episode that's about to come on.
Oh, good. Yes, I just clicked on it, and they haven't started yet, but I did smash that like. And for those of us that are going to be going over there to watch them shortly, do remember to subscribe to them. They're at 504. Let's get them up to 1,000, because that's what I'm trying to get to myself. And watch the show, because they're a lot of fun. And they talk about stuff just like we do.
Be good. I got to go pee.
Good luck.
OP, we're going to talk real quick about some Peter David, and then we'll wrap up by the time you get back.
Speaking of P for
and you
Peter
can add
David.
whatever you want to at the end.
I'm signing out. Bye.
Oh, you're signing out. So go subscribe to Lady. It's now just going to be Michael and I for a minute, and we're going to wrap up. So Peter David, he passed away last week. Marvel and DC have kept him in their employ since the early 80s. The first book that he ever worked on is a result of James Owsley. You might remember me talking about him back during Black History Month, because there was an issue of, I think it was Marvel Team Up, where it had the Falcon in it, but the cover was very racist leaning, because it was, Falcon flying through a ghettoized city where it was garbage everywhere. And Owsley wrote into the book, and Marvel reached out saying, well, if you think you can do a better job, and they turned him into an editor. So one of his early projects that he brought on a new writer for was issue 103 of Spectacular Spider-Man, that classic one that you had Gene DeWolf die in, first appearance of the Sin Eater. And back at that point, he was only working, Peter David, as a sales rep, but he was one of the higher up sales rep. And at the time, it was not looked well upon by people in the sales division that they would turn these people into editors and writers and artists later on. But hey, they pull from a pool of those that they know. And as Stan Lee told me 30 damn years ago, the 3 things to succeed in any industry is 1, be a superstar. Not everybody can do that. So number 2, get along with everybody. And 3, just be on time with whatever work you're doing. And Peter David could really do all of those. But coming from the sales perspective, when he transitioned over to do this first issue, he did not solicit it very well because he didn't want to think that it was favoritism. So it didn't sell great. But eventually he started moving around to different titles. And we're going to fast forward because he's done a lot of books in between. So he's worked on Hulk for 12 years. He did X Factor. He basically created most all of Spider-Man 2099, quit the book because the editor was fired because he wanted to show that, hey, I have some ethics. And right after he left the book of 2099, it's canceled 2 issues later. The whole universe is canceled. And he goes back to doing more Hulk books. So rolls around to the early 90s, and you have some of these artists where we can never forget at the beginning of Peter David's career, you had Todd McFarlane beginning his on Incredible Hulk with that classic cover of 340 with the reflection cover and the blades of Hulk and Wolverine. Fantastic. He didn't like his artwork on the title initially, but later on, before he left for Marvel, that cover was in Peter David's office. Later on, when he was facing health issues and also an IRS backlog of about $88,000, which there's no way I could pay that. I don't know how anybody could back in the early part of 2012 or so. And he eventually got that. He had a stroke back in 2012, and it was right down here in Florida that happened, where he lost most all of the use of the right side of his body. After rehab, he was able to get back and better again. But then right back around in 2022, he had another GoFundMe. So when people have GoFundMes, it's usually because they don't have the money. And yes, he did work for Marvel. He did work for DC. Gets no residuals. He created characters that you and I both know who they are today. Unfortunately, Marvel doesn't pay out residuals, not for anything, unless it's in the contract. And they write their contracts to benefit Marvel. DC writes contracts to benefit DC. If you create a character, this is why Roy Thomas, way back in the day, would not create new characters. He would just pick out names and aspects of older characters that existed in the Golden Age and said, hey, here's Vision. It's based on a character used from the Golden Age. So Peter David never got paid whenever these characters would come to movie. Phyla Vell, that was in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, made about $840 million. You had the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. That made almost $1 billion. How much did he get for his medical costs? Nothing. How much did he get for residuals for anything? Nothing. Anything that he created for any of these stories that wound up in a movie? Well, it's not just him. Ed Brubaker, you had Matt Fraction, you've had, off the top of my head, I'm trying to remember different artists and writers that have created storylines that have translated over into the films. And the most they might get, which sometimes that's fine too, if that's all they want, just a credit on the film at the end, at the rolling credits that nobody watches, or they're just waiting through to that Marvel end credit scene. But you know what we like more than recognition? Cold hard cash, which he didn't get. He did write books for Star Wars and with Star Trek. I learned that from a friend of mine back in high school when I'm talking about Incredible Hulk. And he's going, well, he writes my Star Trek books. What? And he brought it the next day. I'm going, holy shit, Peter David actually wrote books. And later come to find out that's how he got started in the entire industry, writing books. His first comic book that he ever read was Fantastic Four #3, the annual, the one where it has the Richards finally get married and the supervillains are all in the background trying to attack, but they don't realize, hey, yeah, at this marriage, all the heroes are going to be there too, idiots. And he got out of comics for a while, and then he got back in going, hey, there's this really cool Muhammad Ali versus Superman. Hey, did you see Giant Size X-Men #1? And then he's back into reading comics again. And that's when he gets all the way into Spectacular Spider-Man. Image starts to form. He watches as Todd McFarlane, Jim Lee, they go to start this new company and they get rich. Not necessarily just because of the books themselves, but I mean, Todd McFarlane went to business school. That is what he's primarily focused on. He understands the business side of things. And if you've watched the movie Spaceballs, you know what that business side is? Merchandising. Spaceballs, the flamethrower, anything that you could hawk to people, backpacks, TV shows out in the air, movies, lunch boxes, anything with their characters on it that they could sell, that's more money coming in. But if you don't own that property, you can't do that. And Peter David was very vocal about all these creators leaving to go start this new company. And while those people went and got rich, he stayed the company man. And I mean, he got trashed by others. It became a big war. It was either you're with us or you're against us. And as we started the show, you know, if you ever hear that, you know, whoever's saying that argument is probably the bad guy. So I'm not saying that Lee and McFarlane are the bad guys or Peter David is the good guy or anybody's good guy or bad guys. When it comes to good guys and bad guys, it's been like this since the beginning of almost human history. The person with the most amount of stuff wants to divide those that don't have the stuff so they don't come and get attacked by the poors. Who are the poors? Well, apparently you, me, Peter David, anybody that works for Marvel and DC, anybody that doesn't have $1 billion in the bank account. Because if you're only a millionaire, you can survive off that for like a couple years. But if you need Medicaid, because, hey, let's face it, medical debt gets really horrible. And with a stroke, and you can't do any work, like I learned way back in 2013, even if you have a job, hey, Retro, even if you have a job, how long can you go without a paycheck if something happens and you're a freelancer? I'm just a court reporter. I'm not on salary. So I learned way back in 2013, that was about 6 weeks because I was selling some of my best books before I put everything into storage and basically went homeless. And there are artists and writers out there that has happened to them. The writer of Wonder Woman back in the day when you had, why can't I remember his damn name? In the 80s, 3 names. So that's not coming to me right off the top of my head. It shows that I should probably wrap this up, but he went homeless and he needed a GoFundMe. This is just what it is like working in comics. So you work in the industry because you love it, not because you think you're going to become a millionaire or even a billionaire, because most of them are not. And even Jim Lee is a CEO at this point. So if you plan on working in comics, you have to know that the odds are not in your favor. Chances are, if you don't know how to work with your money properly, you're going to lose it about halfway through your age. And comics is for the young. And Donny Cates, while even he's coming back in the next few months, he was gone from comics for about 2 years because of an injury that he had. He was an independent. And he was trying to buy up another company. Things were going sideways. And when you get into an accident where it causes traumatic brain injury, well, where did all those friends that he had go? I mean, great that he's coming back now, but it might just be because, hey, he needs the money. But then again, don't we all? So if you're planning on working in DC or Marvel, have some kind of end goal in mind, because in the end, you're probably not going to be in their mind when things start going sideways in your life. So save up that money, make sure your insurance is good, get a financial consultant, somebody that will know how to invest your money properly, and have a good attorney on hand, because these contracts aren't in your favor, and you can walk away from Marvel and DC. A lot of creators are working in indie, and that stuff belongs to you, and you can put it on a lunchbox. You can license a TV show. You create something for Marvel, you create something for DC, it's theirs forever and then some, in perpetuity. And whenever you see in perpetuity in a contract, it means until after your death and then some. So you see those words in a contract, you know right away it's not written for you. So I'm going to end the show right about now before the low grade starts. So go over and check out the low grades, where we have Cookie Monster, and I guess Lady Fantastic will be in the
Cookie
chat
Monster,
there.
Coffee Monster. Coffee
I did it again. I got to get some actual sleep one of these days. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Michael, do you have any appearances coming up? Any comedy shows?
None that I can advertise. Sorry.
All right. Well, we will be returning on June the 6th. It's Old Comic Book Day, because let's face it, if it's not New Comic Book Wednesday, every day is Old Comic Book Day. So thank you all for watching. And Retro, I know you keep wanting to come in here. We're doing a show for Peter David. I wanted to try and keep it a little bit short, because we're not Jig's Kingdom. We don't do 4-hour lives here. Thank you all for watching. We love you all. See you next week. Read your comics. Until then, my name's Rob Wurst, not near mint. We are always here for you. Always reach out. Love you. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in. If you want to see this episode again, along with a catalog of back episodes and issues, surf on over to Not Near Mint on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe and hit that bell for notifications.